Okay, today take a look at the Kauplus Digital Tread Depth Gauge. There we go. And I really like this new design that they're using nowadays with the caliper, which is much nicer than the old style, which just had a pin and then a gauge on the top and you had to like spin it around and read it. Like this thing, it actually tells you what it is, so that's really cool. So it does have a tag here protecting the battery, so it's not going to accidentally turn on. And it is using a LR44 battery. Cool. So the gauge itself is plastic, but the needle is metal. So overall nice and simple thing. So we're going to start out, I'm going to have the needle out, and I'm just going to press it against something flat. All right, just like that. And then we're going to hit 0. And what's cool about this is because it's digital, we've got inches and metric. So right now it's in metric, and we can do inches. Usually in the US, we would use 30 seconds of an inch. And the basic rule of thumb is you want to keep it above 2 30-seconds of an inch. Once it gets to 2 30-seconds of an inch, then you'd want to change that tire. Now it's going to vary depending on the actual tire that you're using, but if you just want some baseline, 2 30-seconds of an inch is the absolute minimum. So in decimal, that translates to 0.0625, I believe. You can see this has a very fine adjustment on here, which is good. So if we ever got to this point, then we would be maxed out on that tire and we would have to change it out. Now, ideally, you would want to change it out at about 4 30-seconds, but if you ever get to 2 30-seconds, then you're done. Now, a lot of tires are actually using metric these days, so I'm glad that this has both. And what we're looking for there is about 2 30-seconds translates into approximately 1.58 millimeters. So yeah, we're at about 1.6. So if you ever get to 1.6 millimeters, it's definitely time to change that tire out. Now on this tire, and on most tires, there's going to be a tire wear indicator. So for this one, there's a little bump right here. And if you ever see this bump become flush with these treads, that means that this tire is too far worn down and you need to replace it. So we can use that to determine exactly how deep these treads are and how far we can go. I've got it zeroed, and I'm going to put it not on top of the bump. I'm going to put it right to the side of it and press down. What we can see is we got 6.4 millimeters of tread remaining. Now that's plenty. That's actually quite a bit. So these are fairly fresh tires. So if I set this to 0 and then I bring it up to that indicator, then I can see that there's about 2.13 millimeters to that indicator. So that's one easy way to use an indicator to tell exactly how much life you got left on your tires.